In today's video, we're going to be talking about the current conditions, the upcoming wild pattern, and another multi-day severe weather event. And I mean really multi-day. There's going to be a ton of days with some severe weather coming up soon. Let's get straight into things. And first things first, we're taking a look at our current radar imagery. We do have a lot going on for the northwest up here. We will zoom into that. We do have some storminess over the central United States, as you can see, kind of an elongated storm here across the central regions here. And then there's some showers up here for the northeast, as well as some thunderstorms around for the southeast, but none that are really onshore at this point. So let's just zoom in and talk about all these different areas real quickly. First off, for the northwest here, we do have this storminess moving up like this. Generally, the flow is about like this. We do have some snowfall here for the Cascades, which is pretty typical. Also, some of that going on for the northern Rockies in here. And then rainfall in between, obviously. So there actually is some pretty heavy pockets of rainfall, especially in this region. We've been seeing that this morning. So those yellows, obviously, and a little bit of oranges trying to show up. That's going to indicate the heavier rainfall going on. And some of that is translating to some snowfall in here as well. So that's probably coming down at a pretty heavy click, I would say. So that's the conditions right now. We can expect more storminess throughout the day today for that region. We'll start off with the northern portion of this storm real quickly. And as you can see, we do have some light to moderate precipitation going on. Lighter up here, more moderate here for Iowa. For sure, we see the moderate to heavy rainfall going on for Iowa. There, yellows kind of building up to oranges at times. And a lot of this is mixing towards snowfall up here in the northern, especially the northeastern regions there of Iowa. And a lot of these yellow regions could move up into there and really increase that rainfall, or snowfall rate, better yet. Let's move down here to the south central United States, where we do have this little line of storms here that does look like it was in the form of thunderstorms as it crossed through Dallas and Oklahoma. We didn't have any severe thunderstorm warnings, but I would not be surprised that just given the shape of this, that there, probably was some thunderstorms associated with that, would be my guess. We really have some thunderstorms moving in through here. Probably what's going on is we do have some form of a low pressure center in here, a bit of a warm front, and then a bit of a cold front coming through right here. And what this basically causes is really warm air to race in just like this, and cause these just thunderstorms to move up from the Gulf. That's kind of just a side effect of that, and I think that's what I see happening here. But this is probably going to bring really cold temperatures in behind it for these regions. And this is kind of over the next couple days where we're watching for some severe weather. It will move up into portions of the kind of mid-Atlantic sooner or later, but as of now, it's not happening yet. We just need to wait for that. That'll be kind of midweek next week. I just want to zoom into here. We do have, again, these thunderstorms kind of moving up into here, so I just wanted to take a bigger look. Yeah, definitely for southern Louisiana, especially there. We can see those were quite intense, it looks like. Dark, dark, dark reds showing up in there, even some purple, so maybe some hail or very heavy rainfall. We did have some of this thunderstorm activity there for the east coast of Florida, and then this eventually moved offshore as well. There, as you can see, and that's what we've seen take place. Now, we do want to move up to the northeast real quickly, where we have had some snowfall showers around. Some of that looks like it was lake effect for sure, but this is basically dissipated through the morning, and probably by the time you're waking up, there will not be flakes flying anymore, but overnight there definitely was. All right, now what we're going to do here is we're going to move on, and firstly, we're going to take a look at the modeled guidance, take a look at that upcoming pattern, and then we're going to move on and really talk about that storm prediction center where we probably have like 8 days coming up that we need to talk about. Maybe that's a little bit too much. 6 to 8 days coming up that there's at least a slight risk. Starting today, and it's all the way through like day 6 of the severe weather. So I guess it is 6 days. But really, really crazy stuff here coming up, and I really hope you stay tuned for that because it is just absolutely wild. Also, the slider bar, I always mention this to you guys, there is the categories in there. So if you just want to see that, you can always skip to that. If you go along the slider bar, it should have the title of what the section is, and I'll have one listed as Storm Prediction Center or Severe Weather or something like that, and you can click that one and head over there. But let's get into the upcoming pattern real quick. All right, now let's talk about that upcoming storm pattern. We can see there is just some storminess that's going to be lingering in here, and what we're going to see is another storm is actually going to move in and just kind of take over at a certain point really quickly. Look at that, like Saturday, Sunday might be a little bit quieter, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then that's when everything's moved up into here, as you can see, into here. And then what we're going to see is another storm's going to roll through and bring that severe weather Thursday potentially back into this region again. So it is going to be all over the place just during this time period. Absolutely wild weather. Like, that is not a exaggeration at all, because we see kind of like a 1, 2. Just watch. I'll show you where to look. Just watch this area right here. Okay, 1, 2. That one lingers, and then 3, and then cooldown. Huge cooldown there after. So 1, 2, 3 within a few days. And then by the time we're reaching later next week, the jet stream is absolutely insane. As you can see, probably very cold air moving into this region. Well, almost definitely if it looks like this. And very, very warm air moving up into here. So that is the look as of now. That definitely needs to be paid attention to. And this is going to be by Friday, April 8th. And then that moves over to the eastern United States. But quickly, look at this. At the very end, and we'll see this on the temperature pattern, so stay tuned for that. We're going to look at that in just a second. We see the cold air really move back west here. Tons of snowfall. It's obviously a side effect of cold. So if you're not, if you can't see it on the pattern, you can definitely see it on the precipitation type. And then probably the warmest temperatures of the season so far, moving into the eastern United States. Really, really warm. We'll take a look at that in a second, but really, really warm throughout that entire region there. And another low pressure center starting up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is possibly the biggest severe weather outbreak yet, or one of the bigger ones, if this was to take place like this, especially with a 988 millibar low pressure center there with the cold front underneath, and then these storms moving up out ahead of it. That could be pretty bad. So we're going to have to watch for that towards the middle of the month. If we do have a massive warm up like this with the low pressure system still coming across, it's just going to be a bad combo. Now let's talk about that temperature pattern that I just teased a little bit. All right, now here's where we're starting out. We're starting out with the current cold conditions. It's 44 in Virginia right now, so it is actually really cold, definitely. And as we can see, as we move time on, Monday things are about the same. We have really cold temperatures bottled up into here, really warm temperatures into here, and that's mostly centered over the west, the warmth. But we see it generally move over. And then by the time we're reaching midweek Wednesday, we see the warmth mostly in here and the cold mostly up here. But what's happening actually behind the scenes, this is a low pressure center about here in the cold front. Well, actually, it's probably about here by this point, just like that. And then we have that secondary storm kind of up here with, it's following behind. But these warm temperatures out ahead are really going to be really quick winds moving in from the south. So remember I told you guys, let me know in the comments if you noticed that, but I told you guys it would be really windy on that warm day we just had a couple of days ago. And sure enough, the winds were blasting, but it was really warm. I think we can expect conditions like that again. That's what it takes this time of year. But we see the cold front move in. We could see where it's at by Thursday, about like this. And we can expect some thunderstorms along here as that crashes through. And then look at that. Really, really clear pattern here. Clearly there's a ridge here. Clearly there's a trough here. You don't even need me to tell you that. So something about like this. And that's what we're dealing with. If you're anywhere in the greens, you're dealing with temperatures that are 10 to 15 degrees below normal. And these blues in here, these purples that are purplish blues, that's what I always call them. They're just like a little bit more of like a magenta tint than the normal blue that we can see outside of the green. That's going to be 15 to 25 degrees below normal in there. So that is a significant departure from what's typical. And we could tell that it's actually colder than what we're dealing with right now, as an example. So we move back up to that, and it moves over the east. It lingers, but then by the end of the pattern, we're trying to see the warm air return out here. I don't know what the model is showing here. Definitely a little strange looking with the cold sticking over this region. We'll have to see what happens there, but definitely the warmth is around up here for sure, and here. It's kind of weird how it just like cuts off, but there's like weird specific regions. This might just be that the model is struggling because this is at hours 240, so take everything with a grain of salt, but I think we could be moving into a warmer pattern towards the middle of the month as of now, but we'll have to watch and see what plays out. Because obviously things can really drastically change between now and then. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center where I have 6 different days to show you. All right, now here's day 1, and we can see a lot of the severe weather threat today is going to be for Florida. We do have 3 general thunderstorm risks here, 1 for the northern Rockies, 1 there for the Outer Banks and coastal regions of North Carolina, then 1 there for the southeast. That's where general thunderstorms are expected. No severe weather is expected, but it is always possible, and you're going to want to heed all those warnings, watches, and advisories if you have anything like that going on. Marginal risk there in the darker green, that's where isolated severe weather will become possible. And then the yellow region there for central Florida is going to be our slight risk area, and that's where we will, you guessed it, have a slight risk of severe weather. And that's going to be mostly scattered severe weather within that region. Now, day 2, things kind of move back west again. We have 3 general thunderstorm risks again, one there for the 4 corner states, one for the south central United States, and one for Florida again. And then we have 2 marginal risks there, one for the central United States and one for Florida again, but not for the 4 corner states. And again, that's where isolated severe weather will be possible. And then we have a slight risk there for Oklahoma and Texas, and that's where scattered severe weather will be potentially taking place on Sunday, April 3rd, so tomorrow. Day 3 here, things get a little bit worse. Okay, we have the 3 general thunderstorm risks, my bad. One for the northwest, one there for the south central United States, and then one there for southern Florida. And then we have our marginal risk here, or again, isolated severe weather will be possible, a very large marginal risk here, and then a very large slight risk area in here where scattered severe weather will be possible, and there for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and portions of Mississippi. Wouldn't be surprised if we get an enhanced risk in there. Also wouldn't be surprised if we don't as well. So we'll have to watch and see how things look as we get closer, but that's going to be for Monday, April 4th. Then we have day 4 here, where we're going to at least have a slight risk probably for the southeast region for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and a bit of South Carolina as well. That's going to be continuing off of this and moving over to there. Usually this yellow area translates to exactly a slight risk. This is all a part of our next severe weather outbreak that we're expecting. And then day 5 here, that was going to be Tuesday, April 5th. This is Wednesday, April 6th here. For Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and a little bit of North Carolina there, we expect at least a slight risk. So things move back a little bit, and that's because the first storm moves out, and quickly we see that second one move in. So we actually see like another storm start up, but it's all just going to be back to back to back. So it's not going to feel like a different storm, but when you're looking at the maps and actually deep diving into this stuff, you will notice that it actually is a completely separate system that moves in. And then for Thursday, April 7th, we can see things really move up to the Carolinas and Southeast Virginia with a potential slight risk here for Thursday, April 7th. So we'll have to watch for that as well. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, I still feel a little bit unconfident about this system. I don't know yet what we're necessarily expecting. I think as we move towards tomorrow and the day after that, my confidence will really increase with this system, which is our primary focus in this video. So for that reason, we're at a 4 out of 6. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Craich, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Lil the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Cartas as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harlan, Michael Kodalasa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Khaleesi also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.